Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next section. Before we can start on a new file, let's save the existing one. So I'm going to go to File, click Save Scene As, and then I'm going to type in the name of the file. I'm going to name it Lesson 101 Ending, but you can name it whatever you want. Make sure you've selected Maya Binary at the bottom there. Click Save As, and you're done. Let's start with a new scene by clearing out the existing one. Go to File, New Scene. So before we proceed, let's talk very quickly about the world coordinate system. I'm going to create a cube in the center of the screen here by pressing this button. If you notice, there's this little icon in the corner of the screen that has an X, Y, and a Z. Now that corresponds with these three arrows, which ultimately correspond with these three values. So if I drag the cube in this direction, you can see that the X value changes. If I drag the cube in this direction, you can see that the Y value changes. And if I drag the cube in this direction, you can see that the Z value changes. Now, depending on your preferences, the up vector, or the up direction, can either be Z or Y. You can change that by going up to Windows, Settings, Preferences, and then clicking Settings under here. You can switch it from Y to Z, and you can see when I do that, the direction changes there. Historically, artists and animators tend to use Y up, while designers and architects tend to use Z up. It doesn't really matter what you choose, you just have to remember what it is in case you take your file into other software. I'm going to leave this on Z, so I'm just going to close the window. So let's delete this cube by making sure it's selected if it's not, and pressing delete on your keyboard. So now I'm going to show you some fundamental skills when it comes to polygon modeling in Maya. So let's go up to Create, Polygon Primitives, Cube, but make sure interactive creation is checked if it's not already. So now we go back up to Cube and press that, and it's going to ask you to click and drag. And let's press F to center our view. There are three basic ways to manipulate your polygon in Maya: by vertex, by edge, and by face. To manipulate your object by vertex, with your polygon selected, right-click on it, and while holding down right-click, drag your mouse to vertex. This brings up all the vertices in your cube. To select vertices, click and then shift-click to add vertices to your selection. So with these two selected, I can move them up in this direction or drag in this direction to move it like this. Control-click to remove a vertex from your selection. I can cross-window select by pressing left mouse button and dragging a window, and this will select everything that's within the window, like this, or like this. With any two vertices selected, I can press R, and that'll bring up scale, and then I can scale the two vertices like this, or like this. When I'm done scaling, I can press Q to quit the operation. And then I'm going to hold down right-click again, and this time I'm going to drag it up to edge. And now you're going to be manipulating objects by edge, and you select edges by left-clicking on them. And again, like before, you can select multiple edges by clicking the first one and then shift-clicking the second one. And then now with these two edges selected, I'm going to press W to bring up my move, and I'm going to drag up to drag by edges. I'm going to press Q to end my command, and now I'm going to right-click on it, hold down right-click, and go to Face. And now I'm going to be selecting by faces. Press F to center your view on the face. And then the usual transform tools still work. Let's press W. We can move this face like this. E, to rotate the face slightly, or R to scale the face down. I'm going to press Q to quit, and now you know the 3 ways of manipulating all polygons in Maya. Let's take a break, and when we come back I'm going to show you some more techniques.